Gotcha. So what is the secret sauce for starting the conversation with a parent, like just cold? Like you have a standard exam situation, parents involved. How do you educate them? How do you talk about it? And then, walk us through that process.
It's funny. As we do more and more Ortho K, I never know who's going to be sitting in the chair in terms of the child and the parent because there's the half of them that they've never heard of Ortho K. And when you explain it, it sounds like magic. And
Right.
then there's the other half that they've done their research. They know about Ortho K. They're just waiting for me to say it. Maybe they
Hmm.
found on the website that I do that and they already knew that coming in, or maybe we've seen one of their friends and they've been referred and they just haven't divulged that yet, right? But the first piece of information I like to throw out there is your child's nearsighted. And what that means they can't see well far away, they can up close, and more often than not, the parent's nearsighted, so they know what it means.
Hmm.
And the next thing I let them know is kids who are nearsighted get more nearsighted. It'd be nice if they didn't, but they do. I mean, they basically all do, like it's their job. They get more nearsighted, so that's not a great thing. We'd love to limit that and keep that prescription lower. And then that's where I kind of go into because there's a health aspect too, right? It's not just having a thicker pair of glasses. I would love for them to be less dependent on glasses, but the bigger reason is a less nearsighted eye is a much healthier eye. And
Hmm.
we've got some posters in the office. So, they're getting little bits and pieces of this before they see me, explaining that nearsightedness gets worse and, that there's things we can do to slow it down. And then I'll let them know, but the difference now, as opposed to when I was growing up, is that we actually can do something about it, right? We have methods that are really, really successful in slowing down that progression. And we'd certainly never make a guarantee to you that we can stop it altogether, but we can slow it down quite a bit. And in some cases, we really do grind it to pretty close to a halt. And then I can launch into the different methods. And depending on the child, sometimes it's obvious one is the best option for them. And then other times, it might be a little bit more of a discussion there. I make it clear to them, we can't permanently reverse their nearsightedness. If they're already a 3, they're not going to be less than that. But we have a great deal of control over, keeping a child who's a moderate myope from becoming a really high myope. And the newer research shows that every single diopter matters in terms of their
Hmm.
risk. So I don't go too heavy into the risk because I don't want to create, like I'm fear mongering or something like that. But they need to
Right.
know. They need to know
Yeah.
that yes, a more nearsighted person does have a much higher risk of retinal tears and retinal detachments and certain types of cataracts and myopic maculopathy and things like that. And it's clear and it's proven, and we know that. And more importantly, we know that we have options to do something about it. So the trick is really getting that conversation in a regular routine exam that wasn't scheduled as a myopia control consult. It's their regular exam. So I try to tag team with, I have a myopia control coordinator, and I try to tag team with her a little bit. I'll have that initial conversation.
Okay.
Let them know, there's things we can do, and that I think their child would be a great candidate. And I throw in right off the bat that it's more expensive than glasses because,
Sure.
they should know that, right?
Hmm.
But I think it's a great option, and it's what I do for my kids, and I think it's a really good option. And then I hand them off to my coordinator to kind of give them one of the brochures about the options we have. And we have one that we made, custom for our office with, what we call orthokeratology in our office and some of the different things that they need to know about progressive myopia. And then they can kind of take it from there. And if they want to go ahead and schedule a consult, they can do that. If they don't want to schedule a consult, they're just not comfortable, a lot
Hmm.
of times we'll schedule them to come back in like 6 months, do a refraction, check to see if there's been any progression. That gives them time to think about it, but doesn't let them completely forget about it. And so, life gets busy. People forget things, right? It's important, but they've also got a lot of other important things. Their kids getting braces and work got busy. And I mean, there's a pandemic, right? I find more often than not, parents are interested in a consult and patients are kind of on board to some degree. But if they're not comfortable, if they just say, hey, you know what, I don't know that I got it in the budget. I don't know that I can do that. We can always schedule them to have just a real quick recheck of their vision and recheck of their prescription and not go a whole year. Do something sooner than that just to kind of bring it back front of mind.